Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227. Or extension 233. For more information, go to knon.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Well, good morning, Greg Barber.
Good morning, Brother Ezra Davis. How are you this morning?
So your guest had arrived here about 30 minutes early.
That's good. Good to have early guests.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they catch the worm. But the second rat gets the cheese.
I always hear that. And you want to tell them about what you're going to have coming up at 7 o'clock?
Yes, we're going to talk about computers and the computer system with the libraries in our area. We have a representative, Arlington Library and Dallas Libraries, that covers a lot of people, and they're going to learn about these computers, how they can get these computers. That system we had our gentleman on, I think that was last week or week before last. And we're going to talk about that. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to help a lot of people that may not can afford a $1,200 system and different things like that, that they can get their hands on something for a lot less.
Okay, well, go ahead and invite them to your church right quick.
Everyone is welcome to come to Heavenly Joy Church. We're located at Bruton and Masters here in the city of Dallas in the Pleasant Grove area. Service begin at 9:30 for Sunday school and 11 o'clock for morning worship. So everybody is invited. I want to see you walking that door one of these days.
Yes, sir, we sure will surprise you.
Bring that quartet.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. All right.
He'll be coming up at 7 o'clock. Don't you touch that dial.
He reached down and touched.
Yo, what's up? I'm gonna kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like that? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken fitting is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yep.
We'd like to say good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host, and we have Annie and we have Doc and all here in the studio producing this morning, and we're going to talk about connect to compete. All right, and we have in the studio Miss Kjerstine Nealson. She's with the Dallas Public Library. She's over e-services and material administrator. Also from Arlington. All right, Marc Marchand. Marc, what is your job again?
I'm the Library Services Manager.
Library Services Manager. Give us the volume, man. And when we are talking about connect to compete, this is a very competitive world now. It's getting more and more competitive every day. Explain what you all do with Connect to Compete.
Well, I think it's important in today's job market and world to know how to use computers and technology. And so I think at the library we have ways that you can start to learn technology. We have computers, computer programs to help you out, even books that you can take home to help coach you, so you can learn those job-ready skills that are important and skills that people are looking for to be able to share information and find things out in what's happening in the world.
What about those we dummies who don't know how to use computers?
Well, we have classes at the Dallas Public Library at a couple of locations. The Hampton, Illinois branch and the Pleasant Grove branch both have classes for seniors that people can sign up for. And some of those tools that I talked about online, we have tutorials online that kind of walk people through step by step little videos they can watch, exercises they can do to learn the computers.
Okay. I'm also concerned about seniors as well as children having this type of knowledge because seniors may not can get out. They can order. They can go order from the grocery store. They can have a job or different things that they're doing, make money. There's just a myriad of things that they can do, the drugstore, whatever they need, and a lot of them can't get out, can't drive anymore, may not have as many people to come and help them as they want, but they can connect to the world with the computer.
Yes, it can. Yeah, absolutely. You know, and one of the things that we've really worked to do is to reach out to our senior population, and in part reducing senior isolation is really important.
Right.
You know, the technology that's available now is fantastic to help people connect with family, with loved ones, and you know, to add what my colleague was saying about the job market, we've got a lot of folks that their jobs haven't required them to use computers for a long time, and of course that's changing. We have a lot of folks that are re-entering the job market, and they're needing new skills, and so they can come to the library and we'll teach them.
In fact, you can't hardly get a job without a computer.
That's absolutely right.
Because
absolutely right.
every job, we have a job line that we have here every Saturday, and most of the things that he calls out, you have to have a computer in order to apply for a job.
That's right.
So this is so much technology now that yes, seniors can sit at home and be isolated, and with that computer they can connect with the entire world.
Well, it was really interesting. We noticed a really fantastic phenomenon with e-content coming out, and the Kindles and the Nooks and all the e-readers, and a lot of well-meaning children were buying their senior parents these e-readers, and of course they were calling us. We don't know what to do with these, and so we started doing programs called, you know, Got a Gadget or drop-in clinics where they can come in and we'll teach them how to use these devices that their kids were buying them.
So the kids just took for you know, for granted that grandma know how to use this thing.
Right.
Absolutely.
And
That's right.
and see, I can identify with that. I see, when I came along as a young kid, that was during the time when the television first hit the market. My grandmother would not touch it. Boy, turn this thing off.
Right.
And you know, the contrast, what do you used to call it, different thing, when those lines would come through your TV and different thing. I had to go straight. She wouldn't touch it.
And so kids don't understand how hard it was before remote controls. We had to get up and go change the channel.
Oh, yes.
You know,
With remotes now, it's just everyone have a TV in their bedrooms now, and all things like that. But when we say connect to compete, I look at some areas, there are low test scores in schools. And I think much of the problem may not be, all the problem may not be in the classroom. It might be when a child gets home. Do they have the same technology that a child maybe in another area have in order to do their homework or studies or whatever it might be? Could this help in a situation like this?
Absolutely. I think, you know, there's all sorts of options out there now, from tablets that are pretty affordable. So if you want something at home, or if you can't and you are mobile, you can come into our library. We have public computers that people can use. And so absolutely, I think it's important for kids to be able to search for that information, just like older adults, everyone, to be able to have access, and then be able to find good information, because there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet and places that is maybe not really good information, and you're learning and being able to discern those kinds of things. So we have not really classes, but for kids, you know, we help them with the computers. We have databases or e-content to help them find good solutions for homework, and then we offer, and I think Arlington does also, online homework assistance that you can use through the computer and get help.
They can actually get help with their homework.
With their homework. You have to have a library card, but they can, it's online tutoring. They can even upload like something they've written and get feedback for the service that we have, get feedback for what they've written. So it's a way to help and connect and get kids going in school and where they're struggling, or even if they need to build skills.
Okay, in order to be able to get on a computer, do you have to have a library card?
For the Dallas Public Library, you have to have a library card or an internet card, and we will give an internet card to anyone. So that's all you need to be able to get.
Is that hard to get?
No, incredibly easy to get.
Okay.
In Arlington, we ask that people have a library card, or you can purchase a guest pass, because we have a lot of folks that are coming through and they're just in town for the day and they need to use a computer. Our latest technology tool is our mobile technology bus. We've got this large mobile computer lab. We call it the Tech Link. The Tech Link goes to apartment complexes, schools, churches, ESL programs, our literacy programs. We can park it anywhere.
Y'all share this information?
Well, yeah. What we do is we do, and this allows us to be able to go out in the community, park this bus anywhere, and offer computer classes and wireless connectivity within 300 feet of it anywhere in Arlington. On that bus, we don't require a library card. Anybody coming by can just stop in and use the computer, especially because you can't break it in any of my computers unless you physically pick them up and throw them down. So you can come on and learn how to use a mouse, use a keyboard, open the internet, surf through the internet safely, and all those things there. But you don't have to do anything but come on the bus to use it.
All right. Here I come on your bus or wherever you are with your computers. What's the first thing I do to cut that computer off?
Well, when we offer our computer basics classes, we kind of start with truly the basics, like how do you turn a computer on, because a lot of folks really don't know, and more importantly, we talk about how to turn a computer off, because people will reach down and hit the power button, and that's hard on your equipment. It'll shorten the life of it. And so there's a right way to do that. Ours are all set up. You come on, you move the mouse a little bit just to kind of wake the screen up, and we have volunteers we call cyber coaches. We have high school students and college students that come on and will help people with this. You type in your name and log in, agree to not do anything illegal. You click OK, and you're on. You've got the full Microsoft.
Now, Kjerstine, do we have this in Dallas?
We don't have a mobile learning center.
Oh, come on. Now, wait a minute. Little Arlington, not even the biggest town in Tarrant County has this, and we don't have this in Big D?
No.
What council person is blocking this? It's got to be politics.
We do have mobile library on wheels, but they don't have computers on them, and those are all grant funded. So I know, we've talked about it and looked at options, but we do have we have our physical buildings, and everyone lives within 2 miles of their branch library. That's how we're set up. So we've got a lot of locations, and
excuses.
And we were very fortunate. This mobile technology lab was purchased through some of the stimulus funding. And it was the Broadband Technology Opportunities Program plus our foundation helped raise.
Did we turn the stimulus money down?
The city of Dallas applied for it, so I don't think that was one of their projects.
So you have public transportation, and that helps a lot. We don't, and I think that.
Well, you are trying to get a train.
We're trying, yeah, exactly. We got a pilot program coming on, yeah.
Right, but still, if you go take one of those vehicles, because I noticed the police department shouldn't do it, and take one of those vehicles into certain areas and park it.
Yeah.
And allow people to come in and get the use of. I think that would be great for the city of Dallas.
Well,
that would be.
We've also included it as part of our emergency operations planning. I mean, because of the connectivity, when the tornadoes came through our community last year and devastated several of our neighborhoods, it would have been wonderful if we'd had this at the time to be able to park it outside of that neighborhood, allow residents to come on, use the computers, connect to insurance, family, all those types of things.
Right.
So it's a fantastic tool. It really is.
Well, we're going to have to ask the city council. Dallas has so many billionaires, I don't know, they could, as pocket change for them, throw something out there for you all to be able to come and park it in certain neighborhoods, because let's be honest, there are sometimes people don't feel welcome.
Right.
Yeah.
In certain places.
And that's why we have our bookmobiles. While they don't have technology, that is part of the absolute reason we do bookmobiles. We go into neighborhoods where there isn't, yes, we're 2 miles away from them, but there's barriers. They just don't feel comfortable, and I think that's probably
if you're a senior and don't have a car, 2 miles is a long walk.
I agree. Yeah.
That's
So
a
that's
long
what I
walk.
mean. And a lot of our bookmobile stops are at senior centers and senior areas for that very reason.
We've got in fact, we're starting a new class at a retirement community in Arlington on Friday mornings in July, where we'll take this bus and park it there at the retirement community. It has a wheelchair lift and whatnot. We can easily get people with mobility issues up on the bus. And we've got a UT Arlington student that's going to help us over there teach some computer classes.
Good. Now that's, to me, that's really reaching out into the community and really showing that you care, because you're going to people that really need your services. That you're going to them rather than sit back and waiting. People can pass a library for 20 or 30 years and never enter there. But if you come to them and show that they're really welcome, I think that program will go a whole lot further. Thank you, Arlington, for doing the right thing on this one. You didn't do the right thing on transportation, but you did the right thing on this one. When we look at cost, I know y'all are dealing with the libraries, but when persons want I was talking to the CEO of your organization, Connect to Compete, and he was telling us about low-cost computers. He said they had laptops for as low as $150.
That's right.
You can get an internet system for $10 a week. I mean, $10 a month. What do y'all have any connections to that?
Well, what we do is we're promoting it with the public through the website Connect to Compete. You can go in and you select your eligibility and there's certain criteria, and it'll show you the offers that are available to you, and that's where you find them.
Really? If you go into the library, you can.
Yeah, we can help you with that.
And it'll show how you can obtain these particular things.
Right.
When you all see people coming in now, applying for jobs and doing different things, what does that say to y'all? Just a few years ago, you used to have, they call them employment officers. I call them unemployment officers. That's why you're going there. Why? That world is totally different now, isn't it?
It's very different, yes.
What is the library almost become an employment office?
I think so, absolutely. The Texas Workforce Commission refers people to us to be able to use computers and job seeking. We have job seekers computers at all of our branch libraries, which allow people longer time to be on there because it takes longer to apply, to fill out job applications, work on your resume, look for jobs, those kinds of things. So we base that, and we will help people work through filling out an application. If you've never been on a computer, you have to get an email address, all these things that people are not necessarily prepared to do. So we have ways that we walk them through kind of those processes. Get an email account. This is your email address. Write down your password. Those kinds of things that they're just not familiar with. And so, we do as much one-on-one coaching as we can. Then we do some classes, and we have little videos that they can watch to kind of help them through that process. But yeah, we've seen this phenomenon. I think, I've been in the library for quite a while. I saw this phenomenon 10 years ago where we started to make the shift that you had to apply for jobs online. People who didn't have the skills to do that, were frustrated, and it just takes extra time. And I don't think that's really changed in 10 years. More people are getting trained, but
you used to go into the employment office and you take a number or get in line, and boy, you'd be there all day to get told that they didn't have anything, but things are so much different. Everything hasn't gone to hell in a handbasket. There are some things just a whole lot better now.
And we've adjusted our service delivery models. In fact, my team, one of the things we really focus on is college and career readiness for all levels. We've spent a lot of time providing the types of classes based on feedback from the public and our experience working with them with job seekers to develop the right classes to get them the skills that they need. It's been really fascinating. We've expanded also into what we call our Arlington Funding Information Center, which is on the second floor of our central library. And what we really specialize in there is small business development, and working with the Chamber of Commerce, the UT Arlington, the Center for Innovation in Arlington, nonprofit management and development. So people are reinventing themselves.
Right.
And we've got a fantastic entrepreneurial spirit that's growing in our communities. People are coming in and they're wanting to start new things.
They can start business.
And they don't know where to start. And so we partner with the North Texas Minority Chamber of Commerce to offer start your own business classes, that type of thing. So yeah, it's
Do you have a number for that?
Actually, you can just call the library, 817-459-6900 in Arlington.
Do we have that in Dallas?
We do. We have.
Oh, okay.
And we've partnered with.
We caught up on that.
We've partnered with our city office of economic development. They have a great source link that really helps connect people. We have. You can do small business researching classes, and we've done a lot working with the city in this area because they're definitely invested in small business, micro businesses, those kinds of businesses that people start. With a few number of employees or just themselves.
I see a lot of commercials on TV about, so I guess it's a college. Yeah. We're going to talk about colleges, online colleges, when we get right back. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back. And those of you who'd like to join this conversation, you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We'll be right back.
In Dallas, local partners and national nonprofit Connect to Compete have made available for residents digital skills training classes. Classes include basic internet searching, internet basics, computer basics, and more. Local residents are also eligible for programs that provide assistance for internet service and computers. For more information on internet classes at local libraries, their phone number is 1-855-387-9166 or on the web at everyoneon.org. This program is in partnership with Dallas Area Libraries, Connect to Compete, and the Ad Council.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jeff Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
This is William, your videographer for the KNON talk shows. You can watch church information and forum by going to the knon.org website. Click on schedules to the left side of your screen, choose Church Information and Forums page. Scroll to the bottom of that page, then choose your favorite show to watch or download. This show will be ready for viewing by lunchtime Tuesday. Have a great day.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. Clint, Doc, and Annie is all producing. And our guest this morning is Ms. Kjerstine Nealson. She's a e-service and material administrator for the Dallas Public Library System. Also is Marc Marchand. He's head of he's a big wheel. That's why he's talking so much, making us look bad over here with the Arlington Public Library, and we have Clint from Arlington. He's just having a ball this morning. Arlington making us look bad, but we got to catch up with the system because we got a lot of people that really need this. These are services that are needed. I try to tell elderly people, don't be afraid of it. Don't be afraid of this technology. It's not really that hard. I know enough about that it's really not hard. It's just that being exposed to getting this type of services and these types of services that they're giving. And when we look at how people are advancing through technologies, there are people becoming millionaires without ever leaving their home, working on computers. There are a lot of people making a living. There are a lot of things going on. Young people, we complain about test scores, but I got a sneaking suspicion a lot of that problem is after school is out, not in the classroom. Can they go home and obtain the same knowledge kids in other communities? If they have the access, they can do it. What about access with the libraries? I know in Dallas, she said they're only 2 miles from anybody's house. Arlington, what's your access?
Well, we're expanding access all the time, and that's part of our mobile outreach with technology and that type of program is to make it more accessible to folks. And after school is a critical time. We have in 3 of our library locations what we call youth technology centers. In those youth technology centers, our goal is to bring in mentors, technology access, applicable programming for kids to be able to expand and learn and grow and compete with their peers, not just locally but around the world. We've started a robotics program at our East Branch Library, working with UT Arlington. We've got some support from Lockheed Martin, some volunteers that have come over there. Our police department, our foot patrol officers come over there and they build robots with kids after schools. And obviously we're really not making the kids engineers. What we're doing is we're providing them experiential learning opportunities so that they can begin to imagine possibilities for a future in technology and the skills that they're going to need. So
it help create ideas and different things. You never know who's there.
You never know. No, absolutely. I tell them all the time. I said, when you make that first $1 billion, forget the library, but remember the librarian.
And how many libraries do you have in Arlington?
We've got 7 physical library branches, including our central library, but then we've expanded into the community what we call our library link programs. Knowing that we're likely not going to build an additional library branch anytime soon, we've essentially created library branches in elementary schools. We're at YMCA, we're at the Tarrant County Community College Southeast Campus. We have a locker system at one of our rec centers where people can have materials delivered to them. Our courier service runs on a regular basis, and so we're reaching underserved populations that way. Students, teachers, families, parents, people in the neighborhoods are able to access library services more conveniently. You can go to the YMCA on South Cooper Street and have books delivered there, or you can download an ebook to your MP3 player and you can go work out and listen to a book. So you don't even have to drive all over town to get the materials. We'll bring them to you.
All right. How many libraries do we have in Dallas?
We have 29.
29 libraries.
29 libraries.
Are they you said they're located within 2 miles?
Yeah, 2 and 2.5 miles, just about of everyone.
What's the address of your library in South Dallas?
We have ones at Lake June and Houghton. Lake June and
that's Pleasant Grove.
That's Pleasant Grove. Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King.
We have one on Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Martin Luther King Boulevard. We've got a lot. Hampton, Illinois, which is in Oak Cliff, South Oak Cliff. North Oak Cliff. We've got a lot, so it's evenly divided throughout the city. I mean, I can list them all, but there's, I mean, I don't have.
But they are equally divided.
They are equally divided. They're, we've got 2 on Lake June in the Pleasant Grove area. And they all.
You have actually 2. They're less than a mile apart.
Yeah, about 1.5 miles apart. But it's a huge area, and we needed to put 2 libraries into that area.
Is that done by population also?
It's done by population.
Okay.
So, and that's part of it, because there was one library serving that area. It was an area that we looked at. We knew we needed to put 2 libraries in there instead, and they opened on the same day.
Okay.
So it was a lot of fun. And both of them have 25 computers that people can use, plus laptops and different things. So there's, those are things that we've put in because we know they're in high demand. People want to use them. We have, at the Pleasant Grove Library, we have a program aimed at seniors from the Oasis Connections program that really helps seniors feel comfortable using computers, because we know it's an area that people need a little bit of extra coaching and help, just because they're not used to it. They're not used to how the mouse moves and works and those kinds of things. So just a lot of skill building and confidence building, because I think once you kind of do it, then I've seen people take off. Once they have those basic skills, they're like ready to go.
Right. Well, and that's what we with the same grant funding that we got that paid for our mobile technology lab. We expanded our Wi-Fi offerings in all of our libraries, broadened that, basically made the pipe wider to accommodate more users. We expanded added more computers to all of our library locations. We express terminals where you can just pop into the library real quick, print something out, check something in 15 minutes, and get it out of the library. So it's to make it convenient and to take down as many barriers as possible, so that when people come on board or they come into the library, they feel comfortable.
How many computers you have in South Dallas library?
That's hard to say. Most of them have, the newer buildings, we aim between 16 and 25 depending on the space in the building. So of our older buildings, not as many, because some of those were built before PCs.
Are they not wired or what?
They're wired. It's just because they're smaller buildings, there's only so much capacity we can put into them. But in our newer buildings, we are aiming for between 16 to 25 public computers.
Do y'all work with Dallas Public Schools?
We do. We work with the public schools. We actually have 2 co-located locations. Hampton, Illinois, and Arcadia Park, which we serve as both the school library and the public library. So we have a lot of cooperation with them. This year we're teaming up with the Dallas Independent School District for our Mayor's Summer Reading Club, so that we are working and have one reading program for all the kids that attend DISD and live in the city of Dallas, instead of different programs, so that we're all working towards the same goal of keeping kids occupied, reading, learning, visiting their libraries during the summer.
Now, Arlington is considered a suburban city, but Arlington, let's be honest, has just as many problems as Dallas Fort Worth now, because Arlington's it's not a little small town. I remember Arlington used to have about 5,000 people in it. Right. And that might have been giving them a few. Now you're almost 400,000 people. You have different things, the creativity. What more could you do in Arlington to reach more people? What more could you do? If you were king for a day, what would you do over there?
It's when it comes to technology, there's never too much. We can always use more, because we basically keep our computers packed all day long. I think the real challenge for us is just making people feel comfortable, reaching out to folks and showing them that it's we're here to help. We can answer questions. There's no such thing as a dumb question. Come in and we'll work with you. That's really the most important thing. And it really takes a grassroots effort. It's a whole lot of we help people in our computer classes. We get a lot of referrals. In fact, our computer classes are always packed. We always have a waiting list. I've got wonderful volunteers. And so expanding our volunteers and our computer classes is always a goal.
Okay, you said they are always packed.
Always packed.
And people have a hard time getting in.
So we offer more, yeah.
You would offer more classes?
We would, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What would you need? I know probably volunteers to come in and teach. Would those volunteers have to bring their own computers, or what would happen? We
provide everything, the curriculum, the training, the support, the ongoing guidance. We take care of all the logistics, so that all of our volunteers need to do is to show up and enjoy working with people and helping them learn new skills. And you have to remember that with public libraries, our real niche is filling that gap between between the early adopters of technology and those who are late adopters of technology. We still are, teaching people how to turn a computer on. We're teaching people what a mouse does, what a keyboard's for, all of these basic things. I had a volunteer recently, just absolutely fantastic. We have some of the greatest human beings in the world volunteering in our programs, and was going over the Microsoft Excel class materials, and the comment was, she was, well, I can't teach Excel, until she saw our curriculum for Excel. I mean, it's basic, it's introductory. We with their partnerships in the future, we want to be able to expand those and to offer more advanced, but there's a lot of wonderful resources online too that we're taking advantage of, and so after we kind of make them feel comfortable, we show them the basics of how to work the computers, then we direct them to some of these online self-paced, self-learning, type programs, so that they can get on our computers and continue becoming lifelong learners when it comes to technology.
Okay, but I like what both of y'all said about they can go to that particular one of these branches and pull up how they can get low-cost laptop and low-cost Wi-Fi.
That's right.
They can get it. Wi-Fi $10 a month. Right. That's unheard of. Right. A computer, a laptop, what it was, $150.
Right.
And I asked Clint how much of that computer he had, and he said that was about $1,200. So I mean, my goodness, you can save something, a coffee or anything a day for a month or so, and be able to afford one of these computers and pay for your Wi-Fi services, and then just connect with the whole world. What I really want the people to understand, this is for everyone. This is for everybody. You don't have to fear it. You can come in and you can call and connect. I want you all to give out the numbers. Give me the numbers. The listeners, they're listening. Oh, I know they're listening. Yep. Give out those numbers where they can just get connected with this whole program.
The Dallas Public Library's number is 214-670-1400.
Say it again.
214-670-1400, 1400. That's our main line, and we can get you connected to any of our branches, and we can give you general information about our classes and programs. That's a great place to start. And we'll get you connected to your branch in your neighborhood. We have a good map that once you give us your address, we can tell you who's closest to you, all those kinds of things.
And in Arlington, you can call our main number is 817-459-6900. And I'd like to give your listeners my office number. It's 817-459-6792. So if anyone has any questions or they want to know more about our mobile computing or anything like that, they can call me.
Okay. Those numbers are there. They're there. The technology is here. You've got to have it in this day and time now. It's just like they say 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago, reading and writing. You used to call it reading, writing, and arithmetic, and this is reading, writing, and arithmetic now. In this day and time, you got to have it to be considered literate, and it's so much more we can do once you get this technology, and we got people that are really working hard. We're gonna have to work with the Dallas Public Library. We're gonna have to get a mobile unit going somewhere, because you all need to take that thing to certain neighborhoods and park it. Let people know they're welcome. We got to push for this. Probably how much one of those units goes?
Oh, it's about a $250,000 project.
And that's pocket change for some of these guys walking around here right now. They could get a unit and take it and have people there to welcome people and then teach them the basics. Like she said, you can get the basics down, and some people can just take off from there. And they'll pick up on other things, just getting, if you ever get the basics down to anything, you can work from there.
Right. The basics, a lot of what we teach they're all transferable skills. You can use from one computer application to another, and so when folks kind of get comfortable with that, it really is it opens up a whole new world of ideas and imagination, possibilities.
Yeah, and I'm looking at having one. Every home should have a computer. Every person should have access to the public libraries.
That's right.
you all have things that are really. I see homeless people go in and get jobs. They're in the library.
Absolutely.
They've learned how to use those computers. I see people coming in and going different places, and you can, if you haven't traveled, you can go all over the world with that computer. Right. You can look at different things. It's just so much that they can do to help the human mind, even the better quality of life. You can order tickets if you want to go to certain programs. You can, fly. You know, it's cheaper to buy an airline ticket buy a computer than it is. It costs a fortune to walk up to the counter and buy a ticket where you can go online and get it for a third the price. Really, a lot of people don't know a lot of things are cheaper online.
Well, and it's the ideal tool for lifelong learners because there's so much information. Now, Kjerstine and I both feel very strongly, I'm sure, but that while there's so much information available, there's a lot of garbage out there too. And so part of what we do is help people.
Explain some of that garbage.
Well, anybody can put anything on.
Everything on the internet is not true.
Exactly. Everything on the internet is not true.
I tell you, could y'all hold that? I'm going to a short break. We'll take a short. I want you to explain this. I don't want to cut it off. All right. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All right. We'll be right back.
GoodSearch.com provides a way for you to support nonprofits like KNON with your online shopping and dining. GoodSearch.com offers a downloadable toolbar for searching from your computer called Good App, so your purchases can go to support KNON. With Good Dining, every time you go out to eat at participating restaurants, then a portion of what you spend gets donated to KNON. Registering is easy at GoodSearch.com, and Knon 89.3 is the name to enter in your account settings for charity selection. Support KNON with your online shopping and dining at GoodSearch.com.
It's a Knon Crawfish Party. This is Jim Bro of Monday's Cajun Zydeco Music Party Show, inviting you to come out and join us for some great music and great crawfish this Sunday at Poor David's Pub. I will be your host, and we'll have the best in Zydeco music from JB and the Zydeco Posse. We'll have mangoes boiling up some massive bugs. These are live jumbo, purged fresh crawfish coming at you spicy or radioactive with corn and potatoes. Advance tickets are only $5 at knon.org, and crawfish is only $6 per pound, all proceeds benefiting KNON.
This is JB, and yeah, you're right. It's Sunday, June the 23rd at Port Davis Pub, located at 1313 South Lamar in Dallas. Doors are open at 5, and Jim Bro will be in the mix with Cajun and Zydeco music until me and the Zydeco Posse hit the stage.
So come on down to the KNON Crawfish Boil this Sunday with JB and the Zydeco Posse and live crawfish from Mangoes at Poor David's Pub. This is a KNON benefit event. See you, Shaq.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. Our special guest this morning is Ms. Kjerstine Nealson and also Marc Marchand. They will connect to compete. This is a broad organization. We talked to the CEO on, was that last week or week before that? It was last week. And he told us about a whole lot of how we can connect with the libraries and even how you can get low-cost computers, laptops as low as $150 and Wi-Fi service as low as $10 a month. That's fantastic. What we're trying to do is remove any obstacle that could stop anyone from being, technically illiterate for 2013, how they can connect with the world. And we have two people here that work every day in connecting people to the world, teaching you how to even use computers and showing you different things. And we're going to be on top of it because once we get our mobile unit in Dallas, we'll be able to go everywhere and teach those. Kjerstine, who you say your boss is?
Joe Gadice is the director of the Dallas Public Library.
Yeah. You have his phone number? Yeah, well, I will call him. We'll call him. I don't know if he can get some philanthropy to get it, or the Dallas City Council can, stop serving so much food in their meetings and buy one of these mobile units, and cut down on some of their perks, and buy a mobile unit. And we need these things. These are things. People, I'm not talking about things that these are not luxury items.
No, they're not at all anymore. And we're talking about, serving underserved populations and making sure that people have good access. And, one of the big things that we run into in teaching people the basic computer skills that they need to navigate safely on the internet is that not everything on the internet is true. There's a great quote by one of our favorite young adult authors, Neil Gaiman. He says that Google will give you a million answers and a librarian will give you the right one. Because, there's a lot of computer hackers and scammers are finding all kinds of new ways to take advantage of people, and so that's one of the things we really spend a lot of time too is teaching people how to be safe, because they have a healthy fear. They should, not trusting everything that they read, and that's where our expertise really comes into play to be able to guide people through that process and make them comfortable so that they don't have to be afraid of getting on the computer.
All right, what is a virus in the computer?
A virus is, I guess it's a small little program that can come in and kind of take over parts of your computer or destroy parts of your computer or take information from your computer. There are different kinds. So yeah, you want to make sure if you have a computer that you are protected. There's programs out there, run your virus scans. If you're using it at the library, that's all part of it. Our computers are structured in a way that you really can't do those kinds of things. So it's a great way to get started, and it's part, we can give you some tips about how to find those, at home, if you have a computer at home, how to protect yourself.
But I hear they say if you go on a certain line or a certain subject, a certain thing, there's a virus there. You have to avoid it, or what do you do?
I think it's more embedded, especially in some of those kind of emails and sites where those flashing things that kind of attract your attention sometimes, or those phishing emails, that so-and-so died and left you $1 million, those kinds of things.
So that's a scam.
Those are a scam, yeah. Haven't heard anyone that successfully won anything from any of those. And so it's called phishing with a PH, phishing, because they're looking for your information. But a lot of times they take you to a site that installs malware, things that do bad, that kind of take over your computer, install things, or viruses that attack your computer. So you really want to stay away from those things. If you don't know who your email's from, you get on the site and it just doesn't look right, close it down. I think, we look at sites every day, and sometimes even I get fooled, you think, oh my gosh, and I teach this stuff and I know this stuff. And so it's just, you have to, you really have to kind of keep your wits about you, but don't be scared. Just kind of know that if it seems too good to be true, it most likely
More than likely it is. That's right. What about the guy that comes on and say, make $10,000 a day? If you come what about those guys? They even run them on TV.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I think you have to research those things, and that's part of what we can do at the library. I'm sure there are ways that you can do that, but that's not the typical kinds of things. I think we all know, if you own a small business, it takes a lot of work, and it's not gonna be, you're not gonna earn $10,000 a day starting out. I mean, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get your businesses going, a lot of hard work that you have to invest in it.
So really, it's just, you might be at home, but you still gotta work.
Yeah,
you really have to work it. But I think there are a lot of people that's just brilliant enough to do things like that and make a living right there in their home.
Absolutely. I think people have those skills. And it's not to say you maybe can turn it into that kind of business, but I think you need to, I mean, it does, you know, when people start businesses, it's a lot of work, but that's what we've seen with people who start small businesses. There's a lot of hurdles you have to cross, and, you know, we can help you do that, but, you know, just being able to do it legally, how to keep track of your finances, all those kinds of things, you know, it's a lot of skills to be able to keep track of.
We offer in Arlington a safety online computer class where we'll teach people about some of the things that they need to be aware of. But obviously, we include safety, internet safety, is a part of all of our computer classes, and especially with the expansion of social media. There are things that people would do innocently enough, post information that they may not realize that they're sharing information that people that have bad intentions can exploit. You know, we teach our young people, you know, don't post pictures of yourself wearing your school, you know, shirt to identify what school you're going to, or some of those types of things, or how to set your privacy settings, or you know, things like that come up.
You all talk about online predators.
We do, absolutely, we do. Absolutely, we do. Yeah.
They trick children away, and
children and seniors alike. I mean, I've had several seniors come in and we're concerned about things, and we want to make sure that they're safe. The people are preying on our most vulnerable folks, and they're getting more sophisticated and finding new ways to do that, and so, you know, the whole idea is to make sure that people are having a good experience, that they're feeling safe and whatnot, and it's not to instill fear, but we just want people to kind of understand what they're getting into, and things to avoid, and how to do it the right way.
Well, now, how safe are computers with children that are gullible? Now, we do have a lot of gullible children. They're going to try things. They're going to talk to people. Some guy, you know, he's 40 and he wants to meet a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old. How can a parent watch out for things like
one of the
this?
things, from my experience in the last couple of years working with at-risk youth and being out in the community a great deal, is that I have to give a lot of credit to our educators and to parents. They've done a fantastic job with our young people, to the extent where I see kids on our computers. Of course, we have filtering, you know, on our children's learning center computers. It's basically similar to what the school has, and but I see kids that will kind of monitor and police each other, like, well, you know, to go to this site, don't go to that site, or you don't want to go there, or that type of thing. And they've really done a great job. Kids are getting the message. You know,
they're getting it. You're not finding as many as going off to meet some guy at the bus station, like you used to.
That's right.
Right.
Well, that's good. I'm glad there's an improvement on that.
Parents are sharing that, and they're learning that in school. My kids have learned that in school with computers, and it's part of the curriculum. So, and I think we just help reinforce that when they come in and give parents some tips, you know, to monitor. I think it's, you know, that's what parents need to do, is monitor. That's right. But they also, as Mark said, you know, kind of self-policing each other. I've noticed that same phenomenon. Kids saying, you know, your mom is not going to be happy if you're on that website, or, you know, that's that kind of thing. And you know, or what, you know, maybe we should ask about that. So I think those are important.
What about banking online? Do you advise that?
I think, you know, if you're working with a financial institution that you know, and they have a website, and you go to that website, I think online banking is fine. I think it's important that, again, that you know the website, that you are putting the web address in, those things that keep you safe, not clicking on a link on a page that you think might be it, you know, and know how your bank notifies you. You know, how do they send their emails? Because they're going to tell you the same security information. They're going to say, our emails contain these things. If it says this, it's not us. And I think that's what you have to be, because, you know, it's even my work email. Sometimes I get like, oh, this bank notice, like something's wrong with your account, and I know I don't have an account with them, but you know, people,
they want you to give your account number.
They want you to give your account number or personal information. Again, that's called phishing, and you know, enough to be able to take your information. So that's why, you know, I tell people it's okay to bank online, but, you know, you have to be very careful. And, you know, I personally type in the email address of my bank when I do it, so I know that that's the site I'm going to. It's not, you know, it's not a link that something else is going to. Those kinds of things. I mean, again, I don't think you have to be afraid. You just need to know what the risks are, and then kind of move forward.
Yeah, because I noticed people will give out to these banks, they give their social security number, they give their account number, driver's license number. Hey, you've given yourself away, and you don't know who you're talking to.
That's right.
And y'all have classes that y'all warn people or teach people how to recognize if it's their bank. That's right.
It's part of that online safety kinds of things that we help people with.
All right, what about these guys that can bust the computers of our United States government? These guys can hack into and expose top secrets to our government. We got a couple of them in hot water right now. How do they do that?
Well, it's like kind of becoming a librarian. I promised my mother that I would use my skills for good and not evil, so that's why I became a librarian. A lot of very talented computer programmers, entrepreneurs who started computer businesses, you learn things in the process of developing these skills that you can use for good or bad, and sometimes that they do use their skills for the wrong things, and in fact there's an industry of people that they're paid by large corporations to come in and to test the vulnerabilities of their computer systems.
Wow!
So there's even a career in that. Legit.
From what I can tell, this is not exactly a non-lucrative type of business. These guys seem to really, seem to be some of the sharpest minds because they outthink the people who set these programs up.
And they can go to work for the NSA.
And that's why they hire them. I mean, there's it's hacking for the good to kind of test those. I mean, they want those same kind of skills to stop the people who use those skills for the bad.
And which one of the big banks was hacked here a couple of weeks ago? One of the great, one of them that's too big to fail. They hacked him in two, and they get a hold to your account numbers and different things like that. Computerizing this world, it's a great thing, but it does have its pitfalls.
There are vulnerabilities, no doubt, absolutely.
It really has. It's been a great thing to have this, but like you said, no matter what it is, somebody is gonna misuse it. Somebody gonna use it. But this is why people need to go and take classes and learn how to protect themselves. This is like anything else.
And that's why
it's a contact sport.
That's right. That's why the public library is there. We're here to help. We are information professionals. It's not just about books. It's about the process of information seeking. And so we're experts in helping people navigate that. So highly encourage everyone to, if you have questions, to contact your local public library and come talk to us about the things that you're concerned about or you'd like to learn.
All right. Mark is with the Arlington Library. They're both with Connect to Compete. They have a lot of information. They can help you at the library. They can also help you get a low-cost computer, low-cost Wi-Fi. Marc Marchand. Mark, give your number out again.
It's 817-459-6900, or you can call me direct at 817-459-6792.
All right. Okay, Doc, you got
Mr. Barnett, we had a caller which was a little bit too shy to get on the airwaves with us, but she would like to know about the social medias out there. Can we give a few of those names out?
What is she talking about? Facebook?
Like Facebook,
Twitter, things like that?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of them out there. I think the big ones that are out there are Facebook and Twitter. Those are the ones that people know, but there's a whole bunch of things like Pinterest and Foursquare and Yelp. All of those are kind of social media interacting kinds of things. I'm probably missing an obvious one.
But now, can't you go on one of those things and really ruin your life?
You could. So I think that's important. That's, I think Mark talked about that, setting your privacy settings. I have a Facebook account, but I'm really locked down. Only my friends can see my information. I think it's a great way.
But what about if you go apply for a job?
Yeah.
And can't that employer?
Yeah.
Can he demand to see your Facebook page or something?
I think they could ask.
There is precedence for that.
Yeah.
There are employers who have done that as a condition of employment.
Right. And if you put the wrong thing on there, that will show up to that employer.
Absolutely.
And can block you from getting a job.
Yeah.
And like most things, one of the anecdotes I tell people is don't put anything online you couldn't defend if it was on the front page of the paper.
Yeah.
Just to kind of keep in mind that your audience is very broad, and you because the reach is so broad and can happen so quickly, and if people don't know you and they're reading quotes out of context or whatever, you just have to be able to defend those things and be mindful of what it is that you're posting.
Yeah.
All right, Kjerstine, how can they get in contact with you?
You can call the Dallas Public Library at 214-670-1400, or you can reach me or my our administrative offices at 214-670-7809. And we can give you information about our classes. We can get you connected if you want to volunteer and help teach our computer classes. Just like Marc at Arlington, a lot of our computer classes are volunteer taught. We provide the curriculum. We even provide training about, people know computer skills, but it's different when you start to teach them. So just what it's kind of like.
Who's welcome?
Teaching the class. Anyone is welcome. We take volunteers 14 and older. We know that teens and a lot of college students are great computer teachers. They've helped their grandparents get on the computers.
Right.
Marc talked about that, like people bought by their older parents or grandparents, devices, and they're the ones that help them do it. So it's, and they know those skills. So we want to use them.
They're sharp at a lot young age. I have to get one of my grandkids who's not even that old to work my telephone for me. Gotta get out of here, gotta run. Thank you, Marc. Thank you, Kjerstine.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for being a part of this program. And y'all have a wonderful, wonderful week. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with open lines. 972-647-1893 in our second hour. We'll be right back.
You're listening to KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Ironically, June is both the month of the summer solstice and of America's biggest blizzard. I don't mean a weather event blowing in from the Arctic, but a merciless storm of words blowing from the mouths of commencement speakers at high school and college graduations. This year, I was one of the blowhards, speechifying before some 260 graduates of my old high school in Denison, Texas. While it was an honor to be chosen as their ceremonial yacker, it was also truly humbling, since I was clearly the person that the diploma recipients and their 5,000 supporters in the audience were least interested in. Plus, commencement pontificators are expected to offer some sage advice to guide the grads, and I was all out of sage. So I resorted to 3 admonitions I once learned from a West Texas cowboy. Never squat with your spurs on. Always drink upstream from the herd, and speak the truth, but ride a fast horse. Then I hit them with my main message. Now that you've had a dozen years in the classroom and earned this important credential, don't be an idiot. I used idiot in the same way that ancient Greeks originally meant it. Idiotes were not people with low-watt brains, but individuals who cared only about themselves, refusing to participate in public efforts to benefit the larger community, the common good. The Greeks, I told the students, considered such people selfish, contemptible, and stupid, and so should we. This is Jim Hightower saying, the encouraging news is that this crop of graduates from Denison High nodded in agreement. After all, they've seen that idiots are running things in Washington and on Wall Street, and this fresh and refreshing generation of youngsters seems to be hungry for less selfishness and more togetherness as our society's guiding ethic. So, commence, I said, and make it happen.
This is William, your videographer for the KNON talk shows. You can watch church information and forum by going to the knon.org website. Click on schedules to the left side of your screen, choose Church Information and Forums page. Scroll to the bottom of that page, then choose your favorite show to watch or download. This show will be ready for viewing by lunchtime Tuesday. Have a great day.
Yo, what's up? I'ma kick it with the line, y'all know. Yo, Slim, can I kick it like this? Here we go. Well, it's time to make that change. People of the world today are fading. All of us have our ups and downs. You better think about it or you won't be around. What we need is a little bit of love, sent by one from heaven up above. Chicken for tea is simple and plain. This ain't no game, you know what I'm saying? What? Yep, yeah.
All right, we're back for hour number 2 in Church Information Open Forum. And we got a lot of things we're going to talk about, things we're going to throw out there. But whatever you want to talk about, we have an open lines. You can call in at 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Did you celebrate Juneteenth this past week? Have we become too sophisticated? Have we forgotten a lot of our history and a lot of our heritage? Did we ever learn it? We're going to talk about that, our history and our heritage. Where do we go from here? If we don't know from whence we come, we definitely don't know where we're going. And some of us seemingly don't have a clue to where we're going. But right now, on the KNON hotline is Mr. Greg Barber with our Solution in Action Today job line. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Fine. Are there any jobs out there?
There are awesome jobs out here this morning on our SAT job line. The Solutions in Actions Today job line brought to you every Saturday morning during Church Information and Open Forum from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. here on KNON 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Old Castle Building Envelope is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.oldcastlecareers.com. Once again, that web address is www.oldcastlecareers.com. MBM is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.2xrecruit.kenexa.com. Once again, that's MBM is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.2xrecruit.kenexa.com. Traxxas is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.traxxas.com. Once again, that's Traxxas is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.traxxas.com. N&S Services is looking for dry vent cleaners. The number for inquiry is 800-903-4103. Once again, N&S Services Incorporated is looking for dry vent cleaners. No experience necessary. They will train you. The number for inquiry is 800-903-4103. Uline is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. Once again, that's Uline is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.uline.com. If you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person affected by addiction and need assistance with your recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make their transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. The late, great godfather of soul once said, we're people, we like the birds and the bees. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees. And with that, we bring our SAT job line to a close. Reverend Barnett.
Yes.
A couple of issues I would like to raise, and that is in the issue of West, where this was not a natural catastrophe. This was actually caused by some people's negligence. Does FEMA have a priority? Does FEMA is FEMA the primary source of relief?
They should be. I disagree with the administration on this one. I think they should be, but they should also go after those who cause this, havoc to happen.
Because
yes.
Nobody wants to mention the owner of the fertilizer plant. First thing first, Reverend Barnett, to get a facility like that, that has to be permitted by the city. That has to be permitted by the state.
That's right.
You can't have these facilities. A1, the state was negligent. A2, the city was negligent. A3, the owner was most and primarily negligent because no one wants to mention his name. No one wants to mention where is his insurance company, where are the adjusters. All of these folk, when BP made the oil spill out in the Gulf, the government didn't clean that up. The government didn't come in and spend the money.
No, BP did that.
BP had to do that. And the same should be done in West. But
That's
no
right.
one wants to talk about that. I have heard no mention. They don't even mention the name of the fertilizer plant. You have never heard this. You have never heard anyone bring up the owner. You have never heard anyone bring up insurance or anything. All that's been glossed over. And then your state officials trying to cover their own tracks. Oh, well, we'll step in. If the government or the Fed won't do their part, we'll step in. No, you were primary.
Yeah.
Because you allowed this facility to be here.
And it's awfully funny because we all might be shocked to know who owns it.
Very much so.
It could be because really I thought about that. Why is it the owner is never brought before the camera or anything? No one, like you said, never mentions their name. You just might be shocked to know who owned that plant because it's something is awfully wrong here. But I do believe that in a situation like this, the government should step in, take over, and help those people immediately, and then go after those rascals who built that trap and caused that to happen. And the government can get their money back to them, but right now the government really needs to help those people that are in need.
We won't disagree on that point, but the primary fault here is that plant owner.
And I'm sure he has millions of dollars in insurance and different things that's going to replace him and replace his loss and all of this. No, the government should go after every dime that this guy has put out there, whoever he is, has put up there and recoup their money. But they need to come to the immediately aid of the people that are there that need aid. They need to do that, but go after the people that own that plant, whoever they are.
Okay. This is just a fire round. Next in line is the IRS scandal. Notice how that's kind of been swept under the rug, and now that it's come out that the person who initiated this is a Republican/conservative.
That's right.
Notice how
you should have. It didn't smell right from the beginning. I suspected something similar to that. That it was a Republican somewhere behind this whole thing, because this is the way they operate and have operated all over the years, and they can do things to try to make the Democrats look bad. So although Democrats do some things at times, but I had a feeling that it was a Republican behind this whole deal.
But next, then they go to Washington and protest, and then they want to equate what they have deemed a protest in equation with the civil rights movement.
Oh, God.
And then you had folks that look like you and I up there advocating this.
Look, man, you can find one of us. You can pay one of us to do anything.
Right.
So I mean, that doesn't surprise me. That does. But what kind of credibility does this person have? What have they stood for? What have they obtained in life that would say, "I've helped the betterment of mankind"? They never have those kind of credentials. They never talk about those kind of credentials. But they can go in the back alley somewhere and find these people who will stand up for wrong. So. Right. It's nothing new. It's always been like that. Even during the civil rights movement, you had traitors out there that was really stabbing those who were leading the civil rights movement in the back. You've always had that. The cameraman that was always taking pictures and giving you shots of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was a traitor.
Right.
He was there. He was paid to follow and be with Dr. King. So it's always been there.
But we are in a state, if people think the battle is over and we have arrived, people, we need to wake up.
Well, you know, it's sad that we have not come as far as we think we have. And now we putting aside those particular rituals and holidays and different things that would remind us of our struggles that's going on. I like what Al Sharpton said. August 24th will not be a commemoration of the March on Washington. It will be a day that we will say that we got to keep on marching.
That's right.
We got to keep on. We have not arrived. We're still headed in that direction. And there will be those, that was 50 years ago and blah, blah, and all this and that. Hey, many of the same things are happening today. Only back in 1963, we had sense enough to recognize it. And what I've noticed, most of our people don't even know they're being discriminated against. They don't know how to recognize this discrimination, and many don't want to know. They're burying their heads in the sands like some ostrich, and really their tails are sticking up in the air, and they don't even realize what's happening. We're going to prisons at rates like never before. We're filling up all those prisons. We're having a trial down in Florida behind this little boy's murder. And any fool know that if you approach somebody and you got a weapon and something happens and you end up killing that person, any fool know you're wrong, because the whole thing never would have happened had you not approached that person and you had a weapon.
Especially when instructed by the law to stand down and do not.
Who did he think he is? Who he didn't have the right to tell that young man he couldn't be there.
Right.
I mean, he was judge, jury, and executioner, and any fool knew it. I don't even know what the trial is all about. They should throw him under the jail and throw away the key. So, I mean, all this mess is ridiculous. And we got people sitting up there bragging. I'm talking about folks look like us talking about, well, maybe this, maybe that. No. This is a slam dunk.
That's right.
He ought to be found guilty. And we want to talk about this morning because they got 6 women on the jury. 6 women.
But understand that he is not up for, he's up for what? Murder too? He's not up for the highest murder.
No. It's not capital murder. No.
It's not.
This is why he doesn't have a 12-member jury. And I think the most this guy's going to get it's not going to be a whole lot. But I hope these 6 women come through. 5 are white, 1 is Hispanic. And I hope and pray that they be fair, because I really think it's going to be a great outcry if this guy is not sent to prison for what he did. Well, I assure you, had a black man gone and seen a little white boy and approached him and it ended up in a killing.
We've been talking in the aftermath. He'd already been executed.
Yeah.
He'd already been executed.
Oh, yeah. Just turn it around and you would see what would have happened.
No one wants to talk about is the hand behind the scene. This boy's daddy used to be a judge, and that's who's instructing him and showing him the moves to make and what to do and how to do. That's how he came up with the money. That's how he came up. That's how all of this is coming about. It's not Mark O'Meara. This boy's daddy was a judge himself.
Right.
He knows the system. But notice, his daddy's name has never been mentioned.
No.
Never.
No. Well, it just shows you we have not arrived. We got a long ways to go.
No, we haven't arrived.
All right. Thank you, Greg. Thank you.
Marion Barnett.
All right. You can call me at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Kevin. Good morning, Kevin.
Hey, how you doing, Pastor Barnett?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Won't complain. I heard y'all talking about the computers and stuff like that, and I heard you talking about the boy out there in Florida.
Trayvon Martin.
Yes, sir. Yes, the young man in Florida. But we should not be surprised what's going on in the United States. I'm sure I know this.
But now we shouldn't be surprised, but we ought to have an alternative counter attack to things that are happening to us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We need to be. Yes, sir. But what I'm saying, then I'm driving down the road. I don't want to get too far from it, but I'm driving down the road, and I see these signs, and they got, you should get tested. And then they got these signs of 2 black men, one hugging the other one. I said, man, I got 3 boys. I got 3 boys, and I got to raise in a society like this. And I tell my sons, man, that is wrong. I don't care what nobody say. If you don't like what I'm saying, hang up your phone and turn your radio off. Because 2 men hugging and kissing is wrong. I don't care who don't like it. I do not care. Because you cannot get into heaven with no type of sin. All sin gonna have its day in hell. If you don't believe it, read the Bible yourself. We cannot, the Lord said there will not be no sin allowed into heaven. If you married and you got a girlfriend on the side, that's wrong. If you're a liar, you're gonna have your day in hell. You cannot get into heaven like that. And that's why I see I'm a truck driver, and I just see all the stuff that goes on out there. You see these women walking down the street, women, you see kids disobeying their parents. I heard one little girl cuss her mama out and run off from her. I mean, man, this world is in trouble. We are in trouble. Yes, sir. We are in trouble.
A young lady that's cursing her mother out the Bible already said she will only live half her days.
Yes,
but
sir.
I also question the parenting of a child that will have the audacity to curse you.
Yeah.
I have to question their parenting skills, if they care or what's going on with them in life. How can you feed someone and clothe them and they turn around and curse you and have so little respect for you? Obviously, somewhere down the line, that parent has disrespected themselves in front of that child for that child to feel that way toward that parent. Like you say, it's so much going on in society. It's so much going on in this world that we just can't bury our head in the sands. I don't know about the sign that you've seen. You're a truck driver. I'm sure you see a whole lot of signs that I don't know about that. But I do know once a child starts disrespecting their parent, their life, their days will be shortened here on earth. And thank you for your call and comment, Kevin. I got to take a short break, and we'll be right back.
In 2012, the Salvation Army sheltered 6,386 homeless men, women, and children, provided over 190,000 hours of substance abuse rehabilitation, and provided day camps and sports programs for needy children. They operated over 200 apartments for low-income seniors, and they provided over $400,000 in financial assistance to those in need. Chances are very good that you know someone who relied upon these services for shelter, recovery, or other forms of emergency help when life for them made a wrong turn. If you are in need, or to find out how you can help, 1-800-SALARMY. That's 1-800-725-2769, or on the internet at salvationarmyusa.org.
When they're gone for good. This is Scott from KNON's Texas Blues Radio telling you don't miss out on some great blues. KNON's Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 Blues CD. It's a CD put together by real blues fans for real blues fans like you. Texas Blues Radio Volume 5 features great local blues from Michael J. and the Paul Bird Band, JJ and the Detonators, the Chris Watson Band, the Two Tones, Rough Cut Blues Band, Jess Stone with Charlie Love, Dave Millsap, Sirloin and the Ass Kicking Machine, Tutu Jones, Blues Boy Bo, Buddy Whittington, Andrea Dawson, Kirkland James, Sonny Colley, and Johnny Red and the Roosters. Get a copy now at Forever Young Records in Grand Prairie, Recordtown in Fort Worth, and in Dallas at Bill's Records. This is a Dallas Blues collector's item. A very limited amount of vinyl copies can be found at Forever Young Records, the sponsor of this great blues project. CD downloads are available at cdbaby.com. Whether you get it as a download, on vinyl, or on CD, all the proceeds will benefit KNON. For more info on Texas Blues Radio Volume 5, visit knon.org.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. We have Doc, we have Annie, and we have Clint producing this morning. And you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. What do you think about the Trayvon Martin case? Do you think it has a possibility he could get off? It has a possibility he could get probation? What do you think? Do you think this trial is even justified, even having a trial, knowing that he was told not to approach the young man, had no business approaching this young man? He's going to the store to get him some Skittles and some little Arizona drink. During the NBA All-Star game, as they took a break, he ran to the store and down there and ended up losing his life behind this. What do you think about that? Do you have children? Do you have a son? Do you have someone that could easily have been Trayvon, could have been shot down, could have been killed? No matter what line this guy come up with, he still was a murderer, because had he not approached the young man, none of this would have ever happened. And that's it in a nutshell. It would not have happened. He's supposed to be a neighborhood watchdog and all of this. He's supposed to report that to the authorities if he sees something strange. But the only thing strange about it, this was a young black boy in the neighborhood. There, his father lived there. He was at his father's house. What if this had been a little white boy and some black man ran up and he ended up dead? Would it be a trial? Would people be arguing now? He's not guilty, or something happened, he caused this? No. Let's wake up, people. Let's wake up to the realities of life. All right, 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line one and say good morning to Tony. All righty, good morning, Tony.
Good morning, Rev. How you doing?
Fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. What I wanted to say, because a lot of times we talk about culture in this country. Mm-hmm. Last night on Rockefeller Center, they had the Hasidic Jew community up in New York, where they are so isolated, even given New York that...
Now, what community? I missed it.
Hasidic Jews.
Jewish community. Okay, yeah, go right ahead. Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and this was like last night, and they don't even teach about dinosaurs in the little schools up there. But my whole point is to say that even right now in America, the Jewish community in New York has isolated that community so much that if you go outside that block, the little blocks they live, mm-hmm. you basically not put out the community, but you know, in America you still can teach values here. It just takes a core group of people to do it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And last night it was proven that they could do it in today's society with televisions and all the modern technology. They had 5 children of that community who left the community and said how they were really ignorant to a lot of stuff outside of that community. And my second point about Trayvon Martin issue is this. If you listen to the people of Stanford, that community, they always talk about, well, Stanford this, Stanford that. I just saw the movie with Jackie Robinson. Mm-hmm. And Stanford was one of the communities that he played baseball in, and it was racist then. Mm-hmm. So the history has always been there. It's just, you know, they don't want you to connect that history from the past to now. Mm-hmm. And Florida, you know, is, if you read a lot of books, there were some parts of Florida that were so racist that, you know, we see Florida from the Miami, South Florida part.
Right.
But that panhandle is close to Georgia, Mississippi, and we tend to forget, because what television shows us for Florida, that Florida was just as racist as Georgia or Alabama. Mm-hmm. So, like I said, you know, it's one of the things where I think, you know, Stanford has to come clean with his past, mm-hmm. and say, hey, you know, we have not dealt with blacks fairly in this community. And what they're doing now is they set up this jury to reflect, you know, his community, more or less.
Well, now there are African Americans in his community.
Yeah, I know.
None is on that jury.
And that's my point. No,
5 white women, 1 Hispanic. No African Americans on that jury. I'm not saying they can't be fair, but something's awfully smelly about this situation. Why no African Americans were selected? They were all struck down. Something wrong. To me, it's getting off to a bad start. It's smelly from the very beginning.
And that's my point. If they represent his community, not our community, not the community as a whole, but it's showing what they're trying to do is weigh it favorably on him rather than just on the case alone. How do you with that?
All righty. We thank you for your call. What do you think about that? 5 whites, 1 Hispanic, no African Americans on this jury. None whatsoever. Why is it? Do you think it had been a white boy killed? Would they'd had a jury of 5 African Americans and maybe 1 Asian or something like that? What about this? This whole thing has a stench to it from the very, very beginning. From the very beginning, it's the whole thing. Remember now, this guy was not even arrested by the police department. He was not arrested. He was allowed to go home. He was allowed to keep his weapon. They didn't do a background check on him. They did a background check on Trayvon, who was dead. This whole thing, these little racist communities are all over this nation. We're going to have to do something, but we got to put a stop to this mess. And we've become too passive. We've become too passive. Too passive. We're laying down. We all got to get up and really get ruined again, because this is happening, and this should not have happened. 972-647-1893 is the number to call. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Dr. Scott. Amen. All right. Good morning, Dr. Scott.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
I hear you in a new location.
Yes, sir. I wanted to call and let you know that we have made a move after 30-something years. We're in the Oak Cliff area now.
Where are you?
Polk and Danieldale, 1035 West Danieldale. Right there at Polk and Danieldale, right down from the Love Station.
Right across from Hulsey Middle School.
Yes, sir. That's where we are.
I know exactly where you are. Is that Dallas or DeSoto?
No, it's Dallas.
That's still Dallas. But you're right on the line there.
We're right on the line, and we'll be in our 4th service tomorrow. That'll be our 4th Sunday there, and we're having our family and friends day tomorrow afternoon. And we just wanted the public to know that we're there, and we're in that community just like we were in West Dallas, to serve the people and to worship and invite the people in.
All righty. Well, we think. What time your service began?
Our Sunday school is at 10 o'clock. And right on.
Well, we're
at 11:30.
Yeah. Somehow we're losing you. We're losing you.
Okay. Let me get it a little closer. Okay, so that's where we are, 1035 West Danieldale. We did change telephone numbers, 972-224-2800. But we're still there in West Dallas. The building is out there. We're trying to lease it out, but we're there.
Okay, then.
Right. Keep us in your prayers.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Scott.
All right.
All right. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Esquire. Good morning, Esquire.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett. How are you?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing great. I was listening about the trial. Now, I was watching MSNBC. They had, they don't show the jurors' faces, but they had all the jurors, and at the last one it says Hispanic or black.
She's Hispanic.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just appalled because, at least they could have just couple of blacks or one black with 6 jurors.
Man, you know what? We are so apathetic and laid back. Other than a few what they call naysayers, we don't seem to care about people exploiting us and misusing us. We're going along to get along. We've gotten to that point that we've become so passive and we're so heavenly minded, we're no earthly good. And we've been lulled into this. And it's time for us to wake up and realize that God did not create us to be second-class citizens, being abused, misused, and downtrodden, and everything else that's bad that's happening. It's time for us, if you really believe you're God's creature and you know that you've been redeemed, you ought to act like it, you ought to live like it, and we don't.
I agree with you on that, and I noticed, with our Congress, right seem to be wrong and wrong seem to be right.
That's right, sir. Country. That's right. I seen this idiot Eric Cantor get up there in Congress and argue that people don't need to be paid overtime. Yeah, I mean, stuff like this. I talked with Congresswoman Johnson. They have to put up with so much foolishness.
That's right.
At this point in time in history. Can you imagine having to work 45, 50, 60 hours a week and don't get paid overtime? Come on now. It's one of those things. I'm an employee. I wish I could get away with not paying overtime.
I know that.
I wish, boy, that would be out of sight. But it's not right, and I know it's not right.
It's been there, even back in the 60s when I came out of service, you were getting a little overtime, but at least they paid you.
Yeah, but here you are, 2013, and they're trying to cut it out.
Go backwards. That's what they're trying to do.
All right.
I wanted to tell you, I think you got some coffee for my pledge, and I just wanted to tell you I got it.
Have you drank it yet?
My wife did. I don't
how did she like it?
She liked it okay.
I'm telling you, this is great coffee. I'm drinking it right now. This is my fuel for the morning. Doc bring me this coffee. I'm ready to go. I just love it. All right.
I hope you had a good Father's Day, and I hope you have a good weekend.
I had a phenomenal.
I hear my doorbell ringing, so I better get out of here and see who it is.
All righty then. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you. I had a phenomenal Father's Day. I got so many gifts and different things. It's more or less like Grandfather's Day for me now, because my grandkids and all getting me stuff and different things, and my kids. I just had a phenomenal Father's Day, and I hope all of you men had one too. All right, let's go to where are we? Line 4. Let's go to Sydney on 4. All ready? Good morning, Sydney.
Hey, how you doing this morning?
Fine. You doing all right?
Yeah, not in a way, because I'm kind of like on that Trayvon Martin case. No matter who they pick in that court or whatever they do, that man done put on a jacket.
Mm-hmm.
No matter where he go, he gonna wear a jacket.
Well, but still, he's walking around. He's still alive.
Yeah,
he still has his life.
How long?
But all the rhetoric that's going on around this particular trial, that's saying that this fella could walk. This fella could get probation. This fella killed a child.
He killed a child. Exactly.
He killed a child.
He was following that child for that to happen.
Yeah.
They told him to get away from that boy.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't know what happened. If Trayvon got the best of him.
Yeah,
or whatever. He probably got his head whipped and had to go to his gun to stop him. But he had no business messing with the child.
Exactly. And when doing that, he put a jacket on.
Yeah.
And if he goes to the penitentiary, you can believe there's somebody down there waiting on him because they done seen that trial. They watch TV too. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, we'll see. It starts Monday, and they're going to show it on TV. I hope everybody will be watching.
This ain't going to be that OJ thing.
No. Well, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know where they get their morals from, but they know that man killed that child. Police know that. They told him to leave him alone.
Well, the police wouldn't even arrest him.
That was an open and shut case. This man followed that child.
Yeah, but he didn't go to jail behind that.
They should have.
No.
I know it. And then whoever was running the force then ought to have been fired.
Yeah.
They ought to be up on manslaughter too, just involuntary manslaughter.
Yeah.
For letting it go on so far. You see?
Mm-hmm. All righty. Thank you for your call.
All right, thank you, sir.
All right, they cleared the line. 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Michael on line 3.
Hi, Reverend Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Just great, just great. If you think about it, you have just given us our greatest clue to the inevitable outcome of the trial. When the man was not arrested that night for some investigation.
Right.
You know, murder, manslaughter, accidental shooting, whatever it was, the man, Zimmerman, right?
Mm-hmm.
There should have been, according to all laws of any city in Florida, in the United States, in the world, there should have been at least holding him for a few hours investigating,
right?
You know, exactly what happened, just a preliminary, that he should have been held, you know, that's the greatest clue to what's going to happen at the end.
Well, the guy left the station with his weapon.
If he wasn't hauled in at the beginning, he's not going to be hung at the end. That, you know, you got to get hauled in to start with to get hung up to end up. So, yes, sir, you have revealed the greatest, easiest way to know what's going to happen. The guy going to get let loose.
You don't think you think he's going to walk?
Sir, not guilty. No probation. He's going to get a slick lawyer like Johnny Cochran to play every card he can play. You know, Trayvon don't belong here. It's not that this other guy don't belong here. They're going to convict the witness, sir. They are in America. That's so often the case. The poor woman who's been molested by a man is convicted at the trial for wearing a short dress. Trayvon's going to get convicted here for having cannabis in his system. He obviously does all kind of other stuff. Let's see what else did the boy do. That's what they're going to do. They're going to convict the witness. They're going to invest. They're going to convict the victim. They are going to investigate Trayvon. The defense of this Zimmerman is not even going to deal with the truth of those few moments that the violence occurred. They're going to deal with every other moment of Trayvon's life but those moments.
Yeah, there's a tape. I don't know if they're going to admit it or not. Somebody's calling for help.
I'm sure about what happened because their client murdered Trayvon. However you want to look at it.
Any way you look at it, he murdered
in the law,
this child.
We never admit to anything. The defense attorney tells their client never admit to anything unless you're ready to go.
Right.
You know, you're going down in some way unless you're going to turn in your... Is he Cuban, right? Doesn't he have Cuban heritage?
I don't know. I've heard that he's half white or half Hispanic or whatever. Whatever he is, he did not have the right to kill this child.
I think you've been very clear and helped all of us to see a lot better this. And thank you for the computer. I'm going to try all that. But on this, Trayvon, thank you. I think you've helped everybody, and all of us can talk to others about it, and maybe we will have something. Maybe we'll be able to stop the stupid joke and get a good trial.
All righty. I think I'm up against a short break, and thank you, and we'll be back in just one moment.
Tornadoes, wildfires, hurricanes. News of catastrophes creates a need for volunteers. The Mass Care Task Force is a volunteer group that helps after these catastrophes. The Mass Care Task Force is a collaboration of the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, the North Texas Food Bank, and the Volunteer Center of North Texas. Become a pre-trained disaster volunteer who is ready to help before disaster strikes. For more information on becoming a disaster volunteer, the website is forcefortexas.com. A message from KNON and the Mass Care Task Force.
It's a KNON Crawfish Party. This is Jim Bro of Monday's Cajun Zydeco Music Party Show, inviting you to come out and join us for some great music and great crawfish this Sunday at Poor David's Pub. I will be your host, and we'll have the best in Zydeco music from JB and the Zydeco Posse. We'll have mangoes boiling up some massive bugs. These are live jumbo perch fresh crawfish coming at you spicy or radioactive with corn and potatoes. Advance tickets are only $5 at knon.org, and crawfish is only $6 per pound, all proceeds benefiting KNON.
This is JB, and yeah, you're right. It's Sunday, June the 23rd at Port Davis Pub, located at 1313 South Lamar in Dallas. Doors are open at 5, and Jim Bro will be in the mix with Cajun and Zydeco music until me and the Zydeco Posse hit the stage.
So come on down to the KNON Crawfish Boil this Sunday with JB and the Zydeco Posse and live crawfish from Mangoes at Port David's Pub. This is a KNON benefit event. See you, Shaq.
All right, we're back on Church Information and Open Forum, and thank you, Annie, for producing. Thank you, Doc. Thank you, Clint. They're all here. They're all taking your calls, and you can call us at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. All righty, let's go to line one and say good morning to Reverend Rice. All righty, good morning, Reverend Rice.
Good morning, Pastor. How you doing this morning?
Oh, it's Reverend Wright. Oh, okay. You got Rice on the Hey, man. What's going on?
Awesome show this morning, Pastor. I was listening to your show that comes at the Martin case. You know, one of God has blessed me to do a lot of things, and one of the things was a jury consultant.
Mm-hmm.
And doing that before Dyer of that jury, there's no way he shouldn't have got a jury of his peers.
Mm-hmm.
There should have been one person on that jury that looked like us, and even though the murder rate case was dropped to a low standard, which it should have been a high standard, because he started initiating.
Should have been first-degree murder.
First-degree murder. Mm-hmm. He initiated the entire situation. There's no way that it should have been reduced, but like you said earlier, until we become a voice, these type of things are going to always continue to happen to us. Mm-hmm. And it's sad in the 21st century, Pastor, we still fighting for things such as this event. Right. One of the other things I want to talk to you on a local level while I got you is Darius Ewing, who was a young man that was arrested with a $100,000 bond for accusing me of setting a dog afire, mm-hmm. has now been joined by 4 other young men, and one of the young men took a plea bargain out on Thursday, admitting to doing what happened to the dog, and yet Darius still sits in the jailhouse, and it's almost going on a year. And so we're going to...
Wait a minute. You're saying that someone have already confessed to it?
Yes, one of the other young men that they tried took a plea bargain, and I think they gave him 2 years probation for $70. He played out to doing it. But yet Darius is still sitting.
Why is Darius in prison if someone has admitted that they're the one who set the dog on fire?
And that's our question. And so we're going to be looking into that case on Monday to investigate why the district attorney still holding Darius Ewing. At first they said he was the only one. Then they get 4 more people arrested, and one of the people have already testified to being a part of it. But yet Darius Ewing is still sitting in there. So this district attorney's office is somewhat a little tossed with me. They're not really sure of what they're doing.
Well, yeah, that needs to be investigated to find out why they're still holding this young man. And you've had someone to step forward to confess that they did it. Now, I've only heard of one person they said did it, and Darius always said he wasn't the person that did it. So why are they holding him?
That's we're going to investigate that next week, and if we have to, we're going to go ahead and put the district attorney out there on the bus and ask him, had the attorney of Darius Ewing not accidentally walked into the courtroom, he wouldn't have even known that the guy was pleading out. He stepped in, and all of a sudden...
They didn't notify him?
They didn't notify him. He accidentally walked into the courtroom, see the judge about something else, and saw the guy coming in confessing to some part, and they scratched out as far as what he was doing to the dog. And so we're going to launch an investigation out on next week to see why Darius Ewing is still sitting here. And But they keep setting off from February to April. Now they've got it to August. And so we want to know why he can't get.
And this young man is still sitting in jail while all of this is going on. $100,000 bond for a dog. You know.
If you got him guilty, why don't you go? He has the right to a speedy trial. And I think what the district attorney's office is doing is sucking up to the animal control people and dog people.
That's all. He's playing politics. He's playing politics. Yeah.
You know, this young man is not the one that did it. And I just think at the end of the day, you know, my dog got killed and everything else has happened, and all of us to fight for justice, but we got to continue to do it. And so Reverend Al Sharpton and all those guys who ran down to Florida, they need to run down to Florida now and make sure justice is being done.
Yeah, well, I heard Sharpton say the other day on the radio that he will definitely be there. All righty. Thank you, Reverend Wright. Mm-hmm. That clears the line. 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go to Jose on line 4. All righty. Good morning, Jose.
Good morning. How you doing, sir?
Fine. You doing all right?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to say I've been in 2 juries for drunk driving, and when I stood up and I was selected for these 2 juries, I stood up and I took the oath of going to be impartial and do what the law said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, regardless whether I'm Hispanic, black, white, Asian, or Chinese, or whatever the case may be, you take the oath to abide by the laws that are given to you by the judge, or else you are found guilty of whatever it is that you're done if you're not doing things right. Now, I am Hispanic. Now, I don't agree that this Zimmerman should have been following this kid to wherever he was going or shot him or whatever. Ultimately, we will all be judged by one person, all of us. And what we're doing on this earth right now is a test of what our actions are. Now, if you look at the Hispanic community, we have drunk people all over the place. If you look at the black communities, you have drunk all over the place, all kinds of hours. We have fatherless children that don't have.
What about the white community? They have the same thing. They have the same thing.
They have the same thing. But
and in fact, there's more of it in their community than it is in the black or Hispanic community.
You know what? I couldn't tell you because I focus primarily on the Hispanic. We have our problems.
I can because I look at FBI stats. Yes.
Well, okay. Well, I'm glad about that because statistics are statistics. Now, that means that each particular race has to take care of their own. Now, when we start lying, cops are cops. Cops lie on the reports all the time just to get convictions. There's about, I have a young family member who's a cop in Austin. I told DC, when you start writing reports, you write the correct information that you saw or that you know of, period. Once you start writing different things just to get a conviction, you become one of them. Now, that is rampant throughout the entire cop community. And yes, there may be 1 or 2 cops that are good. I wanted to be a cop for 7 years, but ultimately, I'm glad that I did not become one because I would have been a dead one. Now, as far as, these juries that were selected, yeah, it's 6 women. I don't know necessarily the makeup of them, but there was a prosecutor and a defense attorney who were selecting these jurors. Now, the prosecutor, if he decided that it was not done properly, he would have raised all kinds of cane in order for him to choose an impartial jury. But you can only hope that the facts are presented and the jury does their job as it's supposed to do.
Now, what I'm hoping for, by this being all women, that maybe those women could put themselves in Trayvon's mother's place. Now, I'm hoping it works in that direction. I'm really hoping. It does not necessarily have to be bad because they're all females. It might work against that defense attorney. It might work against him. I don't know, but I'm just, why is it no African American could be a juror? Why is that? Why are you saying we can't be fair? Are you saying that we don't have the mentality to weigh evidence and come out with the proper verdict? Something just smells about this whole thing. Something, hopefully, I hope that fairness come out of this trial, but so far, this little town, Sanford, didn't arrest him, sent him home with his gun after he killed a human being, killed a child. Something is smelly about this whole thing. His father is an ex-justice of the peace, and they know the law, and they've used it. Something smelly about this whole thing, and we're going to have to stay on top of it. All right. We thank you, Jose. All righty. That clears the line. 972-647-1893. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to Ike. All righty. Good morning, Ike.
Good morning, Reverend Barnett.
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing great. I'm going to try to be speedy so you can get some more calls. But people are study talking about the law.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Look at what just happened in Austin with our governor.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you got a district attorney down there who's did her little time for a DWI, and she's back on the job. He's pressing to get her off the job. But when you look behind the scenes, she's investigating a case where one of his pet peeves, the cancer people down there, that does research on cancer,
mm-hmm.
they done made away with $56 million worth of funds. And she's investigating that. So
well, you know the governor wants her gone.
Yeah, but he goes in and takes $7.5 million away from her office so they can't investigate. And they got 400 more cases where they investigating white collar people down there. In other words, so they'll go in and manipulate the law to stop them being investigated. See, what happened to our lawmakers is they're changing the laws so they can't be investigated.
Mm-hmm.
He told not the open records law, but the ethics law, where they wanted these politicians to show where they're getting their money, who's the lobbyists and stuff. So he vetoed that. He vetoed the truancy law, where they wanted to stop putting kids in jail for truancy. He vetoed all this. So they're making the law what they wanted to make. So the rule changes when they put it in their hand is in the cookie jar. So I'm gonna let somebody else talk. But
but I tell you what we need to do. We made a big mistake in 2010 when we didn't go to the polls and allowed the Republicans to take over all these state houses. And in 2014, we need to go to the polls and vote these rascals out. Then
Barnett,
go ready.
Let me say this: that district attorney down there, if I'm not mistaken, she's a Democrat.
That's obvious, and that's why he's doing
what
things.
What he wants to do is make her resign, and once she resigns, he appoints
a Republican, and he will appoint somebody that's not going to go after him.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right, have a great one.
All right. And that clears the line. 972-647-1893. Let's go to Billy Ray on line 1. All righty. Good morning, Billy Ray.
Good morning. I'm here again. Your comment, I was listening to your comment a few minutes ago, and you were right on target about the women. And I'm thinking that the 5 women or the 6 women that's on the jury, don't be surprised if those women find him guilty.
It wouldn't surprise me because women seem to sometimes can identify with each other better than men can. We're all over the place, but women seem to run more of a saying that could have been my son. I hope this would come down, and it might backfire on that defensive attorney. This might backfire on him. I'm
looking forward to do that. And then on top of that, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. If they went and they found 5, maybe 6 white women to put on the jury to say that he's innocent, why couldn't they have not found 5 black women and put on there and say he's guilty?
Well,
and reverse that. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's a thing that I think they're saying this trial is going to last, 2 months?
I think I heard a month.
A month?
I think I heard a month.
Whatever. It's going to be, I think it's going to have some ratings that's going to be out of this world for that TV channel that's going to carry it. We're going to hear a lot of things going to come out. This guy Zimmerman have changed his mind. He changed his story on several different occasions. I just hope the prosecutor is up on his game. I just hope that. I hope he be able to really bring the reality of the situation. To me, it's cut and dry. This guy followed this child because he was black. And he felt like he didn't belong in that neighborhood. His father lived there. But even if his father didn't live there, he could easily have gone and joined the military and went off to one of these countries where we have all these wars and died defending this country. You're supposed to be in the home of the free here in America.
That's right.
But it's only free for certain people.
That's right.
There are certain people that can't, it's not free to because they can't go to certain areas because they have the wrong skin color. We need to put a stop. We need to stop this madness and not take it anymore. It's sickening.
Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping for that. And when as I was listening to the radio and the topic came up by Trayvon, I said, well, I'm fixing to call in on that. Now, you remember here about 3 months ago, I called the radio station. I told you that the Kaufman thing was an inside job. Wasn't it an inside job?
Yeah, you said that, and it was. And the reason why they couldn't find out what was going on, they were the ones who were doing it. They were doing the killing themselves. Yeah,
I'm telling
they couldn't find nobody.
No. Did I not make that public? Didn't I call you?
Yeah.
You know me if you see me, but you just don't know me on the radio.
Okay.
But you know me if you see me. But I called and made that public that Saturday that was an inside job. Just like I'm doing this with the women thing.
Yeah.
The women's going to find that dude guilty and say I said it first.
All right.
Have a good day.
It could happen. It could happen. It could happen. I'm sorry, I can't take any more calls. You want to take? All right, let's try to get James in from Palestine. James, are you there?
Yes, Reverend Barnett, I appreciate it. I just go ahead and let you wrap up the morning. But on Zimmerman, who gave him the authority to take care of that property? That was supposed to be cameras, according to the signs posted on that property. So the family needs to sue the property owners. And also, Zimmerman took the law into his own hand. And one other thing, the case in Dallas, if you can contact me after the program, I may have somebody that can help on that case about the dog.
Leave your number with my producer, and I'll contact you.
Yes, sir. Reverend Wright, I'd like to talk with him, too. Thank you.
All righty. Thank you. I'd like to thank all of you for calling, all of you for listening. I'm Marion Barnett, your host. I'm the pastor of Heavenly Joy Church. We're located at Bruden and Masters. Service beginning at 11 o'clock every Sunday morning. Sunday school, 9:30. Love to see you come out. Come out and worship with us. I think you'll enjoy yourself. Got to get out of here. Got to run. Coming next is Workers Beat, and I'm sure they have something great to talk about, something to inform you about, and we got to run. So may the Lord bless you and keep you. Thank all of y'all for producing, and bye-bye.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.